One exit north of Highway 75 and 121.
Welcome back to the Traders Network. I'm Michael Yorba, broadcasting to you live from 1190 AM iHeart Media Studios and worldwide through yorbamedia.com. All right, I'm joined on the show with Saagar Govil, Chairman and CEO Cemtrex, and publicly traded company CTEI on the OTC. All right, Saagar, welcome to the show. How are you?
Good, Michael. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Am I pronouncing your name correctly?
It's pronounced Saagar.
Saagar. Thanks for helping me out with that. All right, you've got some real strong background in diversified industrial engineering, but I really would like to back up a little bit and give you a chance to kind of give our audience a flavor for who you are, who's steering this boat, and then also we can get into what Cemtrex does.
Sure. Thanks. I'm the CEO and chairman of Cemtrex. I've been with the company for over about 6 years now, and I've been CEO for the last 3, and I've been really trying to push Cemtrex onto a high growth trajectory. And I think we've demonstrated that we are able to do that with our considerable growth in the last 5 years of over 1,000% in top line growth.
That is amazing. And not to mention, you've branched out. You have got 6 offices worldwide. You're not just in the United States. That's
correct. We have about 235 employees worldwide.
All right. Now, tell everybody what you do.
Well, Cemtrex is a diversified technology company. We operate in 2 primary business segments. The first one being electronics manufacturing services, and the second one being environmental products and services. So the environmental products and services business really consists of air pollution control equipment and environmental monitoring instruments that we offer.
Okay. What industry sectors are you penetrating with this technology?
Well, for this business segment, we really go after industries like the power industry, metals and mining, chemicals processing. That's really where we see a lot of dirty particulate that's generated in manufacturing processes. So whenever you have these dirty processes, they require different types of industrial air filtration as well as monitoring for environmental compliance purposes.
We all remember our first real big look, or everybody in the world got a big look at what was going on in China through the Olympics. Is there any appeal for your product there?
Absolutely. I mean, there is a tremendous opportunity for the market in China, and really where Cemtrex has seen significant growth is in the Asian markets. Last year alone, our sales increased 25% in Asia alone. In China itself, if you think about it and you look at the country, I mean, they spent in 2011 $97 billion on environmental protection, and in 2013 about $162 billion. So it's almost close to double. And, that really shows how much of a problem it is there. And we expect that, as the economy continues to grow in China and India, there's almost 600 million people who are going to be entering the middle class in those 2 countries alone. They demand a higher quality of life, better infrastructure, and this requires more power in those sectors, but also environmental controls for the power that's generated. And that's right up what Cemtrex does in terms of requiring different products that we offer from the industrial air filtration as well as the monitoring side of our business.
Well, when it comes down to it, when we're talking, that's the growth rate, that's the industry sector. Everybody can connect the dots on how those India, Asia, in a whole are going to be just a huge boon for you, not to mention what you've already done, 1,000% revenue growth. I mean, that's huge. But what in fact actually are we doing? How are you reducing the pollution that is going into the world, whether it's air, land, or sea?
Well, we focus on the air market, and so when you are building a power plant, usually in places like Asia, they use cheaper fuel. So you're talking oil, you're talking coal, and when you're burning coal, there's a lot of pollution that's generated from these processes in the process to generate power. And so it requires systems like that we manufacture, these dust filtration technologies, which cleans the gas that's coming through the power plant. And as a result, clean air is emitted into the atmosphere. So in order for these countries to start lowering their levels of pollution, they have to use these types of equipment to make sure that the air that's coming out of their power generation facilities is clean.
Okay, that requires a lot of R&D on your end to make sure that you're staying ahead of the curve. Where are you on that?
Well, actually, we have been in business since 1955, and so our technology is very established, and we have, technology that has 99% efficiency in removal of particulates. So the reality is that in the U.S., the market for, they're not building many new power plants here in the U.S., so the market here is not as robust as it is in Asia. So we, in the last few years, have really taken an effort to go from being a domestic company to being an international company. And that's the reason for our success and our growth in terms of going after the worldwide market.
Okay, and where do you see? I mean, this business is just going to get bigger and bigger. It's a big political push here in the United States. Is it? I know that you mentioned they were doubling the money that they're putting out, but is that just trivial money for these people, or are they actually going to get serious? And this thing is really going. They're really going to reduce the pollution particulates that are out there.
No, I think they are going to get serious about it. You can see, that all these countries are really starting to take it seriously, and that really shows from the spending that's going on, the projects that are coming out, and there's a growing awareness in China and India. China, there was a documentary that came out a couple weeks ago talking about the environmental problems that they're having in Beijing, and the U.S. and China have now both agreed to reducing greenhouse emissions over the next 2 decades, and I think that's also a clear commitment from the countries that they will actually, come to some kind of understanding about how to reduce greenhouse gases as well as air pollution.
So, through your technology, do you see that we're actually going to get a handle on this, or is it going to require more companies like yours that are to really put a dent in it, and what time frame do you think we're actually going to see this turn around and maybe come back the other way, where we actually can live in a cleaner world through your technology?
Well, I think it's a collaborative effort. I don't think there's necessarily one solution for everybody.
Right.
But I think that there is a growing awareness, and I think that as these countries go through this process of industrialization, as well as understanding the ramifications of polluting their environment, like in China and India, they're going to take serious steps, and they are getting serious about it now. And I think that globally we'll see over the next 15 years that there's going to be more stringent policy as well as technology in place like we offer to really help get our hands around this problem worldwide.
Okay. All right. And how big do you see this market growing? Because obviously if we're going to pay more attention to it, there's going to be more money put into it.
Yeah, in respect to our specific market, we see it. There's a new $5 billion market just now in the next 3 years alone for just our segment. So we see that as a tremendous opportunity. Naturally, we do compete with other companies for this space, but it's growing. But I mean, India is going to be doubling the size of their electric grid in the next 10 years. So, I mean, if that should give you some perspective in terms of what's going to happen, basically doubling in size their capabilities. So, it's a huge industry, and it's growing rapidly at over 25% per year.
All right, now that's a big clip. What about in Latin America? Because we've spoken about Asia, and everybody's kind of got that most people group Europe in with that too. But Latin America is starting to, really come on strong with a lot of their industries. Do you have offices down there? Are you looking in that part of the world?
Right now, we really don't have a significant presence there. We do see some opportunity for the future, but really our presence and our focus and our ability to get more business has really come from the Asian and Middle Eastern markets.
Okay. All right. You didn't mention anything about the Middle Eastern markets. What's going on there?
Well, they are, spending a lot on infrastructure, power plants. Obviously they're always upgrading their refineries. So all these different projects also require the same type of equipment so that we manufacture for because in order for, the refineries also need power generation, and they also require industrial air filtration. So our technologies are used in that regard as well.
Okay. All right. If you want to, we've got about a minute left. Give us your contact information so that some of the, the listeners on the show who are seeking, something that's scalable in a market space that is getting more and more attention, can reach out to you.
Yeah, sure. Listeners can definitely check us on our website, www.cemtrex.com. That's really the best place to find out more about their company and what we're doing and where we're headed. And, we are, obviously a public company, and all of our information is available online on our website, and that's really the best place to get all that information.
Great. And the stock symbol?
And the stock symbol is CTEI.
All right. Saagar, I'll be right back with you on the other side. Let's see what you're doing, because you mentioned oil and gas. I want to talk about what we're doing here in the United States with your company.
Great.
Thanks. All right. We'll be right back with Saagar Govil on the other side of this break.
BTJ Consulting was founded specifically to consult with accredited investors on how best to manage their oil and gas investments. The emphasis is not only on direct participation in drilling projects, but includes opportunities in the purchasing of oil rigs, service and equipment companies, real estate and/or the purchase of royalty interest through lease pooling. This strategy further mitigates risk and spreads their clients' investments over the entire sector whenever possible. For more information, call 469-518-5008 or info@btjconsulting.com. 469-518-5008 or info@btjconsulting.com. That's 469-518-5008 or info@btjconsulting.com. And tell them Yorba sent you.
I'm Lex Friedman. I run my own business, so I know from experience, hiring new employees can be tough. Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates. If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites. And now you can. With ZipRecruiter.com, you can post your job to 50-plus job sites, including social networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Find candidates in any industry nationwide. Just post once and watch your qualified candidates roll in to ZipRecruiter's easy-to-use interface. And with ZipRecruiter's premium traffic boost, you can get up to 3 times more candidates. Quickly screen applicants, rate them, and hire the right person fast. Find out why ZipRecruiter has been used by over 200,000 businesses. Right now, our listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free. Plus, get 30% off your first traffic boost by going to ZipRecruiter.com/info. That's ZipRecruiter.com/info. One more time. To try it for free, go to ZipRecruiter.com/info.
Men, if you're like me, you appreciate the feeling of a clean, smooth shave from a quality blade. The sort of shave that cuts clean, without the burn. So why are you messing around with generic razors that cost $32 for an 8-pack, when you can shave with Harry's high-quality German-engineered blades for half the price? And if saving money and a clean shave isn't incentive enough, Harry's will give you their starter set, complete with a razor, 3 of their world-famous blades, and shaving cream for just $10. And shipping is always free. We'll also give you $5 off your first order. Our way of saying thank you for trying us. How are we able to save you all this money and still give you the best shave you'll ever enjoy? By owning the factory that manufactures them. That's how. So go to harrys.com right now and enter code 7711 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 7711.
I'm Dr. James, founder of Diamond Physicians, a concierge medicine practice located in Dallas, Texas. Our Diamond 360 Advanced Physical Exam has been created for people like you who live a high-stress, fast-paced life. Every 40 seconds, someone in the U.S. experiences a life-changing heart attack or debilitating stroke. Negative stress tests and normal cholesterol levels do not exclude you. Half of all fatal heart attacks occur without warning. Diamond goes beyond traditional medicine with the Diamond 360 Advanced Physical Exam. Proven to prevent heart attacks, strokes, and diabetes. Contact Diamond now at 214-395-3491. That's 214-395-3491. Or visit our website at diamondphysicians.com to take the Diamond Challenge. If your Diamond 360 reveals perfect health, receive a full refund. Your loved ones will thank you.
Welcome back to the Traders Network. I'm Michael Yorba, your host, broadcasting to you live from the Dallas KFXR 1190 AM iHeart Media Studios, worldwide through yorbamedia.com. I'm joined with Saagar Govil, Chairman, CEO of Cemtrex, and symbol is CTEI. All right, Saagar, sorry for messing up your name, but I appreciate. Hopefully I got it right this time.
No problem.
All right, let's talk about what you're doing in the oil and gas industry. You touched on it in about the Middle East, but we've also got stuff that's happening here in the United States. And since we're coming on strong, right now rig count's way down, but when it comes back up, and there's a lot of refineries here. So what are you doing in that sector?
Well, that's a great question. So for us, this recent oil and gas boom here in the U.S. has been really great, and there's a couple different opportunities for us. But with the enormous amount of new wells that have come up due to hydraulic fracking, they all require proppants, which are used in the fracking process. And the amount of proppant or frac sand that's been generated in the last 3 years has tripled, to 30 million tons annually. So, and each well requires several tons, to get the oil out. And many frac sand producers require the same technology that we provide, industrial air filtration technology, because of the dust that's generated when you're producing or refining, processing frac sand. So as this new wells start to come back and this industry continues to thrive in the United States, we're seeing more and more opportunity in that regard. So that's a great area which we expect over the next few years to come back strong.
Give me an idea what you're thinking is going to happen in that industry sector to come back strong, because there's a lot of money riding on that industry coming back strong, let alone the health of the United States.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that oil prices won't necessarily stay this low for that long, and I think it's bound for the supply and demand to sort of equalize a bit. But in the U.S., there should be no question that over the long term that this will still be a strong sector for us continued, and I think it makes sense from we need to be a producer here in the United States rather than importing our oil. So, from a policy point of view, it definitely makes sense. And, again, as that industry continues to come back with the price of oil coming back up, there's no question that there's going to be growing demand for frac sand and then naturally growing demand for our products as well.
Industry sector is coming up in the near future where you're going to be present. We're here domestically, because we deal with emerging market stories here more than mature companies, and I'd like to get that from you.
Well, I think this oil and gas industry is definitely where we see a lot of the domestic growth happening with our products. We think that the price of oil this decline in oil price is a temporary phenomenon. We also sell different types of monitoring equipment to refineries. As you may know, the oil that's coming out of these various wells is oftentimes different than some of the oil that these refiners were originally built to refine. Mm-hmm. And as a result, they need new analyzers, new monitoring equipment. And so that some of our product offering, is oriented around monitoring properties of crude oil. And as a result, we expect that there's going to be greater demand for that as well. So we do think that maybe there's because the price of oil is a little bit lower, that it's a little bit quieter, but this is going to be a short-term thing.
Definitely. I mean, I'd rather be buying it at 40, watching it go to 80, than 80, watching it go to 40.
Absolutely.
Now, you were recently, we didn't even bring your age up, but at 28, the CEO of a company that was recently awarded top 40 under 40. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was, well, thank you for bringing that up. It's certainly humbling. I was, recognized by Stony Brook University, which is my alma mater, as being a top 40 under 40. And yeah, I guess, being 28 and CEO of a publicly traded company is not so common, but, I think we've demonstrated a history of success, and I take it as just another challenge to go out there and show what we can do and what I can do. So and we look forward to that.
Obviously, you've got some visionary applications to your processes. Give us a little education on what is it that you're doing that gets you to the top level and being recognized for that. What are you doing with the company that makes your company have that growth rate that you just mentioned, and get recognized for it? There's something different there. I want to hear about that.
Well, we really focus on going where the growth is, and finding out where the products are going to have the greatest impact and the greatest demand. So, and then really focusing on being a service provider, being able to add value to our customers. And I think if you have that sort of laser focus, you can really find that customers will buy into what you're offering and continue to ask for more if you continue to deliver. And really that's what we focus on here at Cemtrex, is to be a dependable, reliable supplier to our customers and going where the demand is. And so, in the last few years, domestically with the frac sand and the oil and gas industry, we've seen strong growth. And then, I think it was part of our business plan to really focus on emerging markets, and that really paid off well for us. So, that's really been our strategy as of late.
Okay. All right. Now, companies don't run themselves, especially public companies, don't run themselves with one person. So there's got to be some team leadership and teamwork within your organization that you find that's different with you and your company than you see with other people in your industry sectors.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's by no means an individual effort. It's definitely our team. We have a great group of talented individuals here at the company. They're highly motivated and they love what they do, and we have fun doing it. And I think that's the most important thing. But we have very sharp engineers who are talented and great customer service representatives. So. We pride ourselves on being able to satisfy our customers and making sure that, our customers are satisfied and recommend us for the future. And that's really, what it comes down to, is a total team effort.
Yeah, I can see that. We've got about 2.5, maybe 3 minutes left in the interview. Anything on the investment side that you feel separates you from anybody else in your field that you wanted to bring out? I want to give you some elbow room on this one.
Sure. Well, if investors want to take a look at us, believing, when I look at our company in the market, I certainly think we're undervalued. So it's certainly a great time for investors to sort of take a deeper look at our company, look at some of the industry comparables, and kind of see where we are. But from our point of view, it's a great time to own our stock, because we are undervalued, and we've demonstrated a commitment to building shareholder value. I think that's the most important thing. And one of our goals for the next, this calendar year is to get on a major exchange like NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange. We feel that with $47 million in revenue and 7 cents per share earnings, that we really stand out from a lot of the OTC companies, and that's really the next step for us, is to gain that level of credibility and demonstrate that we're a real player in the industry. So that's really what we're focused on with our growth. And I think, if investors take a look at the fundamentals of the company, they'll be impressed and see that it's a great time to buy our stock.
Great. And you're doing good for the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think, it's an opportunity to own a company that's helping to improve the environment and, is seeing growth worldwide in that respect. So
yeah,
it's a way to capitalize on that.
I have a friend of mine, Vince Molinari, and he was a impact investing correspondent for the show, and that's one of the things that was the primary objective that's been coming up with a lot of endowments or making investments and things of that nature, is impact investing. Make money by doing good. And that's the way I get the feel that's what you're doing.
Absolutely. The opportunity to have a sustainable impact on the environment, as well as recognize an economic benefit, that's the perfect pair. And, that's really what investors should strive for, because unless shareholders and investors demand the companies that they own to take responsibility for the impact on their environment, you really aren't going to see a change in philosophy from companies who operate these dirty manufacturing facilities. So it really, if investors and shareholders take pride and an interest in that, I think you'll see change.
God, we will. All right, Saagar, thanks for coming on the show and continue doing good.
Great. Thanks a lot. Thanks for having us.
My pleasure. All right, Saagar Govil, Chairman, CEO, Cemtrex, symbol CTEI, Cemtrex.com. All right, we'll be right back on the other side of this break with Robert Herzog, CEO, eCaring.